Hello everyone, this is my final project of the course 6108, and here is my folder of my final project. You can see it includes the JSON files, the index HTML, and the main.js. And here is my data visualization graph. The theme of my data collection is about the anime I watched every day because I'm a big anime fan. I like watching anime in my rest time. I think it's interesting. It is an interesting data to collect, which would measure my spare time as anime fan. In my data collection, I have recorded 6 weeks anime data. The content of the data I collected is divided into the following aspects. Firstly, the name of anime I have followed recently, and secondly, the genre and the update status of each anime. Thirdly, the date, place, time, device I watched the anime. Lastly, the mood after I have watched them. In my data visualization, I have made 2 graphs to visualize part of my data. The first scatter chart here, you can see here, is a comparison of the number of episodes I watch each anime in 6 weeks. The x-axis represents the week. The y-axis represents the episode, and the color represents the name of each anime. I chose the scatter chart to display this part of my data, since the scatter chart is very concise and directly to display data with different contrast. You can see the comparison of each anime in each week's. I have watched the number of the episodes. Here is week 2 and week 3. That's all my first graph, and the second graph is a stacked bar chart display number of the episodes I watched the anime in different places and different time. The x-axis represents the place I have watched this anime. The y-axis represents the number of episodes, and the color represents the time period I watched the anime. The reason I chose the stacked bar chart because it's very suitable to display the data with large values and obvious contrast, so that the data will be displayed very clearly. You can see that in home I have watched almost 60 episodes in anime in home and in different different time periods. The green one represents the evening break, the blue one is the afternoon break, and the lunchtime. Here is the yellow one is the lunchtime, and the red one is the breakfast time, and the number inside the color represents the episode I have watched in this time. So I also encountered many difficulties and challenges in the process of my final project. I want to show some difficulties. The first difficulty is that, in fact, I want to write some interactive effects for the first chart. For example, I have written a function of unclick here, and on the legend, for example, clicking on the legend of each anime will display a line chart of this anime, but there are still some problems related to the choice of the format of the source JSON file. Although I asked the TA to help solve my problem, it was still unsuccessful. So I can only go back to make a plan that displays all data. At the same time, in the part of setting the interval of the x-axis, here, if the data of the domain is less than 8, the decimal point of the number of the x-axis will appear, such as the 0.5, 1, 1.5. Since the x-axis represents the weeks, it must be integer. I can only put the domain. The value is taken to 8, although I only have 6 weeks data. The second difficulty is that I use the color to represent the dimension time spending watching anime, because the y axis represents the total time, but I want to show the number of anime episodes I watched in different time. So I wrote a boolean using the method of object case in a group to let system identify the content to the time in the Johnson field and assign to the time period represented by each color. Yeah, here you can see that. This boolean is very challenging. I've spent a lot of time trying to write this boolean. After repeated formulas, I finally wrote this function successfully. Here you can see that. Yeah, that's all my present of my final project. Hope you like it, and if you have some suggestions, please contact me. Thank you.